Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to our this week's news wrap up with our GAinful 100. There are a lot of interesting news, so let's get started with them right away. Okay, here are your first set. We will follow the same pattern as we did last time. I'll pause for brief 4-5 seconds and then I'll show you the answers along with my brief commentary. Okay, here are your answers. Taj Mahal Declaration. This is important because this has environmental concern. This talks about banning the plastic in and around 500-meter radius. This is a pledge taken by people there. Let's hope it works, and let's hope that we can really beat the plastic pollution. 13 Indian beaches will get prestigious blue flag certification. This is an international certification wherein you are given this certification if your beach is clean, environment friendly as well as tourist friendly. All your European beaches were the first to get that certification, and now even some 13 Indian beaches will get the first one. Just remember the first one. I think this is important. Chandrabhaga beach, which is on the Konark coast of Odisha. Okay, so just know this. Krishi Kalyan Abhiyan, this is to promote the farming practices and double the farmer income. You know that's one of the agenda of this government, and it started with just 25 villages. That's a little. I hope you know there are more than 6 lakh villages in India, right? Okay, 427 Ganga Praharis. These are people who were formed, or this group Ganga Prahari was formed to boost the biodiversity conservation. What does that mean? The marine life of the Ganges were not disturbed. There was no pollution happening along its bank. If there was a flora or fauna which was getting disturbed because of construction nearby or some activity of human, they were supposed to protect them, and now these guys will go and ensure that in all the 5 states along which the Ganges flows. Okay, so this is something interesting if these guys can do something about it. Yes Bank is always in news for doing something interesting. They are now willing, or they have now come up with a scheme called Green Future Deposit, wherein you will be giving some interesting almost 7.5% rate, and depending on the various term that you can deposit, and they're eyeing to raise almost 1,000 crore. Okay, let's look at the second set of 5 questions. Okay, let's look at the answers now. So Sri Rajan Gohain flagged off Santragachi, Chennai Central, Antyodaya. Okay, this is Antyodaya. I think you will see it is there in a lot of things. What exactly is this Antyodaya? Ant is the last, guys, and uska bhi Uday. Uday is the rise of the last, or the most marginalized people also. So you want to do something for the poorest of the poor. So these express are unreserved, I guess. This is second class, but a lot of amenities. So like charger, water dispenser. I think there are also anti-slippage floor. For all those things are there even in this train, which is interesting. As per India's report, forest cover stood at 21.34%. I think there is a marginal increase over last whenever the last report was. The Commerce Ministry approved 15 projects for export infrastructure under TIES. Just know this, what TIES stand for: Trade Infrastructure for Export Schemes. All right. So this is something we know that we have to encourage exports to have a balance of a balanced budget of a trade surplus, or possibly at least it should be balanced, so that we do not end up paying. We know that we have huge import oil import bills. For that to balance that, we'll have to also increase our exports, right? India was among the top 5 nations in e-waste generation as per yeah Association of Chambers of Commerce and NEC. Yeah, and this is other top 5 as expected: China, US, Japan. I not think about Germany. Okay, and in India we have Maharashtra leading in the e-waste. Okay, it's unfortunate that only 20% of the waste gets traced and recycled. Rest 80% nobody even knows where it is going. So that's little unfortunate. Commerce Minister Suresh Prabhu attended the informal gathering of WTO in Paris. Yeah, last time what happened? India and China, they put their foot down that enough of those agriculture subsidies. We are not listening to before you get away. Get done with those things. Okay, let's look at the next five. Okay, here are your answers. Okay, this is Andhra Pradesh Capital Region Development Authority, the APCRDA, and this is Singapore and Amravati Investment Holding. Okay, so the moment if you knew what is this, then you would have answered. Okay, so this is, yeah, they have got on a concessional rate, they will be developing the Amravati city, which is going to be the capital of Andhra Pradesh. West Bengal government has decided to invest almost 107 crore to check the river bank erosion. This has been a lot of concern. There has been a lot of concern, and you know very well this. If the river bank erosion happens, first of all, water it can get into even the people who are living on the bank. Secondly, lot of silt etc. also gets deposited. It's not good for the health of river also. Government appoints IDBI Bank MD Mukesh Jain as fourth RBI Deputy Governor. I thought this news to be one of the most outrageous news this week. Is the same guy who is responsible for IDBI. I hope you know they were like one of the highest NPA aggregators. One of the I'm not the highest, definitely one of the highest NPA. And this is how you get recognized in India for your non-performance. You directly made RBI Deputy Governor. This is really intolerable. I hope I there was an outrage. I think I expressed even when Usha Ananda Subramaniam, two banks which were involved in the fraud, Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, or all these banks, and she was named the Bankers Association chairman and all that, and we all know what happened to her later. I'll be surprised if something. He's clearly a blue-eyed boy. Yeah? How can you get RBI's deputy governor? This is government nominated, of course, for one of the banker. He overtook the nominations from SBI's some guy who not Rajneesh Kumar, someone else. This is clear favoritism, and it does not augur well for the country. This is giving such important post to someone such incompetent. He was there for 1 year only, but still, this is bad. I personally do not like it. It does not matter anyways, but okay. I thought I will at least vent out my emotions. Okay, Punjab government launched business first portal. So this is an interesting say initiative. They want to encourage the business coming into and investing into their state. I think all the state are doing that. That's what we call competitive federalism, right? uh, all the states trying to pitch their state for more and more investment. India and Norway signs MOU to extend health cooperation through NIPI. What is NIPI? Is Norway India Partnership Initiative. If you just focus on this NI, that's Norway India. Okay, just have that in mind. You never know. Sometimes you can get an easy question like that. Okay, try these now. Okay, here are your answers. As per CII, what is the industry is expected to clock almost 8% GDP growth over next 2 years. This is just forecast and estimation. Nobody knows what will happen. If oil prices goes to 140, all these numbers go for toss. But yeah, still looking at the current scenario, it looks like 8%. 8% is achievable. Okay, Arya Jatangurn is the first player from Thailand. This is an important US Women's Open golf tournament. So she is the first player from Thailand to have won it. OVL, I know you know this is ONGC Videsh. They have got first equity oil. What does that mean? You have that stake. You're not paid for it. You're getting on the basis of your equity. You have got this Lower Jackham oil field. So they were also in the joint exploration. Kamila Shamsi. This is an she's Pakistani born writer. She is now in London. So her book Home Fire has got this Women's Prize for Fiction. This talks about politics and personal relationship when they clash, what happens, and things like that. 29th anniversary of Tiananmen massacre observed on 4th of June. Yeah, this is important. What I'm talking about. This is China when a lot of people they protested against their government, and then they were met with an iron hand. Okay, try these five. Okay, here are your answers. The answer for the first is Jan Ausadi Suvidha Oxo biodegradable sanitary napkins. This is, this will cost almost just 2.5, whereas current price are like almost 8 rupees. So this is a good initiative, I will say. This is very important for the hygiene perspective of a lot of women. Ministries of MSME and Ayush. This is alternative medicine. I hope you know that. Yeah. Then, as per the report, severe urine. This is a very serious concern. So, a lot of places in Punjab, I think that there was a study before I came to Amritsar. I actually read it. So, there are a lot of places where there is severe contamination. Most of urine contamination happens because of geological factors, but it is seen, unfortunately, where there are a lot of water table degradation, lot of manure fertilizer. You will think, how, what has uranium got to do with fertilizer, but it happens. There is some strong correlation, maybe because of this water table degradation which has happened severely in Punjab. You know about those Cancer Express trains running from various places, because the farmers there have depleted their water tables, and they have used chemicals so much that people are getting cancer there drinking water. So this is serious concern. Now this is also seen in a lot of wells from Rajasthan. This is serious concern. JNK will host first ever global investor meet on hydropower in July. This is interesting. Jammu and Kashmir in news for some good reason. NMDFC is working with 4 partners in JNK for empowerment of minorities and providing financial assistance to students. NMFDC, now if you will see this, financial assistance, National Minorities Development and Financial Corporation. So just note this, make a mental note of this. Okay, try these. Okay, here are your answers. 2% hike was given by Haryana government recently, yeah, for the state employees. This is interesting. WHO launched global action plan on physical activity. Guys, trust me, it helps. If you are not doing some exercise, please invest some 15 to 30 minutes on your health. It'll do wonder to your confidence. It'll do wonder to your brain. Even these little physical activity, even if you can do some Surya Namaskar, or just mild run for 15-20 minutes, it will really help you. Do it, please do it. This will definitely be an investment. If you think 15-30 minutes out of your study time will harm you, trust me, it will not. Just take my word for it, and try to include this 15-30 minutes of exercise regime in your daily schedule. Okay, build it. Okay, Saudi Arabia started using driving license to women. We know that for decades they had not given their women, but now there is a lot of talk about again equality even in Saudi Arabia, which is a good thing. Now this is interesting news. There are a couple of things that you will need to know here. Is Citibank became the first bank to enroll as payment initiation service provider under UK's open banking regime. So these are the two terms that you'll have to understand. What is open banking regime? Open banking regime in UK says that if the customer wants to share his data, then you are not the only one who can have it. You will have to share it with third party also. Okay. The moment you do that, so say I am a Citibank and the customer has said I am okay with sharing my data, and if I have a loan need, even HSBC on my app, now all these app under open banking regime will have a single app, and they will get competitive bids also. Just think, he's a customer from Citibank. He tells the Citibank that yes, I have a need for loan, and maybe these guys are offering at 3%. HSBC will come and can undercut and give them a good offer at 2.75%. So that's open banking regime, wherein once people decide their data can be shared, it will go with all third party provider. Okay, so that is one thing. And this is payment initiation service is directly without need for a debit card or a credit card. You can do the account transfer, etc. So these are some interesting things happening in the field of banking in UK. And till now only the small banks were involved. Citibanks become the first major bank to sign up for this. They were, you can understand the apprehension here, because you are my customer and you'll be getting bids from my competitors, and you know, all the infrastructure is used, what is used is mine, and then you ultimately end up, you know, giving those interests on loan to someone else. That's quite sad. But yeah, it's good for consumers. They will get more competitive rate. ICAI and SAICA signed pact to facilitate professional movement between India and South Africa. This is Indian Chartered Accountant and this is South African Chartered Accountant. Okay, so the hint was here only. I think this was already covered in one of our previous videos. The name ICAI and SAICA, right? Okay, try these five. And here are your answers. Okay, Delhi is rated the most vulnerable union territories in India's first disaster risk index. Maharashtra, the most vulnerable state. In city, I think Pune has a very high score. I think 9.48 out of 10. That's like seriously vulnerable. Okay. Cabinet may decide on FAME 2 scheme in a month as per Anant Gite. I hope you remember from our last session, Anant Gite, the heavy industry minister, right? FAME stands for faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicle. So a lot of things are now given. Even you have seen Nitin Gadkari is giving a lot of emphasis on the green vehicle. They're talking about the hybrid vehicles and the electric vehicles will be given a lot of different kind of incentive to produce as well as own. So you can see even the heavy industry is making their side or their side of effort here. India's first indigenous long range artillery gun Dhanush. This is an interesting say achievement, I will say, from India point of view, and it has conducted its final test. So it has conducted in cold weather, in wet weather, in the dry weather of Rajasthan, and it just seems to work very well. This is an achievement. Okay. CSIR lab to give the technology for India's first lithium-ion based battery. I hope you understand. This has multiple use. Even our future electric vehicles most likely will be running on the lithium-ion battery. All your laptops and computer and your mobile phones, etc. They run on it, and this is giving some indigenous technology which may have a better efficiency. Karur Vyasa Bank, this is the banking news tied up with Aditya Birla Health. Okay, try these five now. Okay, and here are your answers. Expenditure Finance Committee, EFC, they are the one who decide, you know, if there is a revision on some project, etc. This is dam rehabilitation and improvement project, not the drip irrigation that we are generally, something that we keep hearing about. This is 3,466 crore, huge sum, and concludes until 2020. The date has been extended. 4-year boy Assam kid Ayan Gogay Gohain became the youngest author of India. So he's just 4 years old. 3 years old he started speaking. He used an app and then sent those voice messages which ultimately became the book, and he was drawing from 1 year. He could not speak till 3 years, and then he suddenly started speaking in fluent English with accent, and he has finished this book. This is again a good interesting achievement, I'll say. Bharat Financial get nod with in this IND. This is multiple stock exchange and RBI. Both their share prices had risen. That was the news. World Environment Day is celebrated on 5th of June. I think this is asked a couple of times in various banking examination. This is one of the important days in June. As per RBI, 5,400 crore was dispersed for Telangana government. I hope you know this. Raita Bandhu, given almost I think 4,000 rupees per farmer. Yeah, try these. Okay. So you see, this was not a great news, but yeah, this is interesting. I will say this is called this pronounced I think bagasse, which means sugar cane. After the juice is taken out, what you left, that pulp, that is bagasse. Based food packing on premium train, so that is not burnt or wasted. that is getting used to, used in food packaging. Maharashtra CM inaugurated the web portal on your medical education. So you see, Punjab did it for business first, right? You remember that? Maharashtra has done it for education. Sri R.K. Singh chaired review planning and monitoring meeting with states and power utilities and asked states to speed up work under Saubhagya. So if this is power utilities, you know that is regarding that Sahaj Har Ghar Bijli Yojana, right? WCD, if it is about child protection, this was the hint already. Women and Child Development Ministry would be doing it. Yeah, this is a day-long national consultation. What we can do, I think she's doing a lot of work on it. I really impressed. Honestly, I did not had that expectation from her. Baba Kalyani will head the group to study SCG policy. That's what can be done to increase the exports. Okay, try these five. And here are your answers. Geointelligence Asia 2018 was held for providing insight on latest technology on geospatial field. It keep happening. I think the 11th or 14th edition. And what people come and they talk about how the importance in the field of industry as well as in the field of defense. How can it be used? Okay. Bihar government issues new crop insurance scheme known as Bihar State Crop Assistance Scheme with effect from Kharif. Kharif is basically rice. Just always remember, never confuse. R is not R. That means rice is not Rabi. That means it's Kharif and wheat is Rabi. Okay. Polythene will completely be prohibited from 31st July in Uttarakhand. This is again that beat the plastic pollution campaign that the government is trying to run everywhere, and I think we should support it also. Let's use less and less plastic, try to avoid it if possible. UP government decides to set up one police station in each district to check power theft and minimize power losses in state. We all know what is the situation in many of the villages and districts in UP, wherein people, even the police, are afraid to go and talk about that you should not do this electric theft or laggi lagana and all that. Even they don't have guts to go there. MP announces outstanding bill. ये देखो एक जगह checking the power losses here, and Bijli bill Mafi Yojana for BPL families. Okay, and how do you define it? It's only government knows. Okay, try these. Okay, here are your answers. So, under Swachh Bharat mission, rural sanitation coverage has crossed 85% mark. This is interesting, but I read some conflicting news that as per 2016 or 17 survey itself, it was more than 85 somewhere. I read, but yeah, this is an achievement. If rural sanitation can happen, this try to understand the importance here. The sanitation, why you will see the Modi government is after sanitation. It's because if there is sanitation, there are chances of less people getting sick. If everything, if all of us are careful about our environment and keeping it clean, there are chances of us falling. That saves a lot of productive man days. Okay, and therefore it is very important. Sanitation and education, I think, are two things which is really important for development of any country. 8 states, 4 union territories sign MOUs with health ministry to implement Ayushman Bharat. I hope as per the budget. Yeah, this is important. Government has launched smoking cessation campaign. Let's hope it happens and people get rid of smoking altogether. At least the next generation does not fall for it. Odisha signed MOU with, this is Pullela Gopi Chand Badminton Foundation, established for Badminton Academy. So this is Odisha. UIDI excludes Airtel Payment Bank. We all know about the problem they had. They started opening and distributing subsidies without the permission of RBI. Yeah, and even without your permission, they opened your bank account. Yeah, so that was the problem there. Try these. Okay, here are your answers. Closing ceremony of India-Indonesia Coordinated Patrol, that's in Indo-Corpat, was held in Belawan, Indonesia. Okay, write in comment section where it started. Of course, it started in India. The closing ceremony was here. Opening ceremony was somewhere in India. Quickly type it down in the comment section. Okay. RBI announced second bi-monthly monetary policy of 2018-19 on 6 June in first 3-day meeting. This was generally, I think they meet for only a couple of days, I guess. Repo rate now stands at 6.25, and you know this is also called policy repo rate, and all those like reverse repo will be minus 0.25 and all those rates like that, right? Bank of Baroda increased MCLR 5 basis point effective from 7 June. MCLR stands for, generally people remember marginal cost lending rate, they forget cost of fund based. Okay, if you should not miss this, that's marginal cost of fund based lending rate. Since this is not there in the words here, people generally tend to forget. Government is planning another SBI like 4 bank mega merger. The banks included could be Bank of Baroda. This is interesting. IDBI. You know just now Mr. Mahesh now been made the deputy governor, Oriental Bank and Central Bank. And why? What was the criteria? These banks put together have got severe losses, and you just saw what government does for such severe losses. World Bank approves 6,000 crore Atal Bhujal Yojana for groundwater conservation 7 states. This is again important. I just told you what water depletion, water table depletion has led to in a lot of states like Rajasthan and Punjab. Yeah, try these. Yeah. The question number 5 is a googly. I'll be interested, how many of you got that correct. Okay, here are your answers. Yeah, as per the World Bank forecast, India is set for 7.3% in financial year 19. Yeah, thus making it the fastest growing economy. Corporate India announced merger and acquisition deal worth 25 billion in the month of May, as per Grant Thornton. Virat Kohli's, I think this was in news. I think only after a day or so, it was again sent back. There was some problem in the statue. Kohli features in the world's highest paid athlete and is the only Indian there. His rank is 83rd. Now, this is Mithali Raj became the first Indian to score 2000 T20 run. Most of you would have thought Virat Kohli or maybe anyone else, but Mithali Raj would not have come. This is first Indian, both male and female, right? So please note that this is an important achievement. I think Virat Kohli is something like 1936 something. In male, I think women, I think there are more 2000. I think there are already 6. She was 6 or 7. And I think Martin Guptill and Brandon McCullum are the only two who have scored above 2000 T20 runs. Okay. So this was an interesting question, I will say. Okay, try these. Okay, here are your answers. Arunachal Pradesh CM launches Arunachal Rising. What exactly is Arunachal Rising? It wants to ensure every single scheme of the government reaches to the poorest of poor at the farthest of places also. That is why this campaign was started. Himachal received financial assistance of 84.13. You know that was National Disaster Response Fund, right? SVC Cooperative Bank awarded National Payment Excellence Award by NPCI. This is one of the highest award in the banking today. So this is another news that you should remember, I guess, from banking news point of view. South Africa, Indonesia, Dominican Republic, Germany, and Belgium as non-permanent members of the Powerful Security Council. Okay, are elected. I should write. Yeah, Belgium are elected as non-permanent member. What is the criteria basically? You have one from African and Asia Pacific region, one each generally, or they say two for say Africa and Asia Pacific. So it could both be from Africa also, but generally they give this split: one South Africa, one Indonesia, one from Latin America and Caribbean. That's your Dominican Republic. You should remember. Most likely you'll remember this. Might tend to forget this. And then two from your West European country, which is your Germany and Belgium. Okay. Now, Bandhan Bank appointed RBI Deputy Governor H.R. Khan, right? Harun Rashid Khan, if I remember, he was one of the very respected a deputy governor there. I think he has served for what, some 30, 35 years maybe yeah, this is good. This Bandhan Bank is doing really good work, and we should be really proud of. So the second deputy governor news already, uh, Mahesh Jain, I think if I remember his name correctly, the IDBI guy, and now it's HR Khan. So two RBI deputy governor related news. Let's see these five. Okay, here are your answers. India records 22% reduction in maternal mortality ratio since 2013. This is again a good news. As we develop, this ratio should continuously come down. Held a samvad just means a conversation, right, with the beneficiary. Our PM, he just loves to, whatever work he does, he ensures that media gets proper coverage. So these are little PR events only. Okay, having talking with the all the schemes that government came up with, then you'll talk to the beneficiary and show it in good light. That's important, for the upcoming election. Yeah, that's their job. World first mini satellite to venture into deep space are designed to monitor NASA's InSight Mars lander. So these two satellites will be basically tracking this InSight, the name of the satellite, InSight Mars lander. So there are two satellites. They will be basically, they are already put into the orbit, and their work will be to keep track of this satellite. President inaugurated 73-kilometer national highway in Tripura. Okay, it connects Matabari. This is a religious. This is the talk is about increasing the religious tourism there, and Udaipur Sabrom. So there is a Udaipur even in Tripura, and this highway will also connect it with other Asian countries, right? Okay, Operation Nestar culminated successfully with safe disembarkation of 38 national at Porbandar from Socotra Island. Where is Socotra Island? Just comment it in the just write your answer in the comment section. This is one of the war-torn countries, and this is not Syria. That's the hint for you. It's a beautiful island. If you just Google and see the flora and fauna there, you will be amazed. It's a beautiful island. Okay, try these six. Fine now. Okay, let's get started with this. Ashwani Lohani, I think in one of our mnemonic video, Loha, that's your railway board chairman. He launched awareness on campaign on protection of children. This is very important. We know a lot of children get missing, etc. So they will be doing a joint initiative with an NCPCR and Railway Children of India. Okay. Portal for job seeker and employer was launched in Kerala recently. So one government has launched for business, that's Punjab. One for medical, that is your Maharashtra, right? And then this is Kerala for job seeker and employer. Election Commission launched this online RTI portal. This will be interesting. CM of Odisha announced welfare measure for working journalists. I hope you remember last week we talked about Gopabandhu Sambadika Swasthya Bima Yojana, wherein 2 lakh insurance was there. This talks about 4 lakh in event of death. This somewhere it was written this is part of it. Somewhere it was written this is a separate. I think this is a separate over and above this 2 lakh your GSS BY Yojana. Okay. Ex RBI Deputy Governor R. Gandhi joins EPS board. So third news about your Deputy Governors of Deputy or ex Deputy Governor of RBI R. Gandhi. He was again a respective. First time I read an article by R. Gandhi in the paper, I was like, Rahul Gandhi has started understanding economics also, and I was like really impressed. And then I saw, okay, this was R. Gandhi. He's our he was at that time Deputy Governor of RBI. EPS stands for Electronic Payment Services, which is doing really well. Okay, here are your next 5 questions. And here are your answer. Hyderabad ranked third in most sound polluted city list. This is really bad. sound pollution, as you know, it's also a form of nuisance, and it's bad. Myanmar and UN signed pact on Rohingyas written. Who else it could be? Yeah, they were driven out of Myanmar. We know about that story now. India ranks 137th on Global Peace Index 2018 as per Economics Peace Report. That's bad ranking, I will say. As per QS World Best Universities ranking, number one is MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. World first EPR, that's pressurized reactor. Somewhere this was efficient, somewhere this was written European, but now it's just called EPR. It does not have, this is pressurized reactor for sure. And this is your third generation water pressurized reactor, which has started in China now. This is the third generation, latest form. This technology was invented in Europe. Okay, try these now. Okay, here are your answers. RBI is GST registered micro, small, medium enterprises. If you are GST registered, your NPA you will be classified on not from 90, but it will be increased up to 180 days. They know that because of the payment cycle, if it is really stuck because of the genuine concern, therefore they have been given this leeway. Okay. Now, Sarita Nair, appointed Managing Director, World Economic Forum. Quickly type down where is the headquarter of World Economic Forum. It's somewhere in Switzerland. Tell me the name. Okay. Virat Kohli will get the Cricketer of the Year award at BCI. I think most deserving cricketer for quite some time now. Veteran actor Anupam Kher will get Lifetime Achievement Honor at upcoming IFA award. Being loyal to this government helps. Okay. So you can think about your political orientation. Okay, West Bengal Governor Ken Tripathi will also hold additional charge of Tripura Governor. Yeah, that's the additional charge given to me. We all always know in and around your, if a small state is there, and if there is some shortage, you will be given that additional responsibility. Try these. Okay, here are your answers. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj embarked on a 5 days visit to South Africa to attend BRICS and IPSA. I hope you know their full forms. Ministerial meeting commemorate 125th anniversary of racial discrimination. What was that? 1893. Our beloved father of nation was pushed out of the train because of the racial segregation law that was there in place. So only whites could sit on those first class compartment. Even if you had those tickets, you were thrown out. That's what happened. I think he was traveling from Durban to Pretoria, if I remember correctly. The name of the station. Okay, you can tell me. Type down the name of the station where he was, thrown out. Iron ships arrived at Guam to participate in. I think we discussed about Guam was, I think, the blank in last time. That was your exercise Malabar 2018. RBI amended the gold monetization scheme. Nobody really took it seriously, so RBI thought let's kind of mend it. Give people chance to break it into, even if they want to do it into the short term. Because earlier, I think, if I guess, these goals were supposed to be put with the government for a long time in your banks, but now they have allowed it. You can just break those deposit even short term. DAC approved equipment acquisition proposal for defense forces worth 5,500 crore. Last time also, I think DAC was there in news about talking about indigenously developed defense equipment. Okay, FDI in India increased to US dollar 61.96 billion in 2017-18 as per DIPP, but this news is under shadow because UNCTAD says, you know, actually the investment FDI in India has gone down from 44 to 40 billion. So really do not know what is the real figure. So UN says something else, and our Department of Industrial Promotion says something else. Okay, here are your last five, and here are your answers. Okay, so this had to be, if this is LPG connection, this was Ujjwala Yojana, right? at Raj Bhavan and Agartala on his maiden visit to Tripura. That's where we talked about that national highway, Matabari, religious tourism, and all those things. We talked about it. Okay, Minister of State for Defense Subhas Bhamre dedicated 578-meter long highway tunnel. That's thing near Chungtang in North Sikkim to the nation. This is again an important development. We know all these tunnels, they cut short the travel time significantly. At the same time, it is important for our defense purpose, wherein we can mobilize our troops quickly. Minister of Development Shri Naren Singh Tomar conferred National Award on Best Performing Self-Help Groups under DAY. If you remember this, I had already mentioned about that Antyodaya, a couple of trains also named Antyodaya. This is all towards uplifting of the poor. National Rural Livelihood Mission, that is DAY and NRLM. That is how this is known as, right? Moody expects India to meet its fiscal target of 3.3%, which I honestly do not feel would be possible because oil prices have already shot up and is likely to increase. And we know every dollar increase in oil prices has impact on our fiscal deficit as well, right? Workshop on skill development in port and maritime sector, as expected, was conducted under Ministry of Shipping. So here are your some bonus slide. These were the countries in news. So I just thought I'll put it in under one slide. Cuba, Lithuania, and Eritrea. These are the places where our ambassador were transferred. Madagascar is a country which was in news because the prime minister resigned there recently, and the Malaysia, I think Mahathir, he has selected some Indian origin guy. So these were in news. Just quickly look at their capital and currency. Cuba is Havana. This is an interesting currency because there are two pesos in the country running simultaneously. One is convertible pesos and one is peso. So as a tourist, I think you get that convertible peso, but all the household and all those domestic thing happen under peso. Okay, the normal peso. Okay. So there are two currencies named both peso. One is convertible and peso, and this is like 25 times costlier than the normal peso. So there is slight confusion when you try to visit Cuba in terms of their Lithuania. That's now euro. Initially, before 2015, it was litas. Eritrea, that's Asmara and Makfa. It's currency. Madagascar, Antananarivo, and Erieri. That's your currency. If you can just want to remember this, this is MAD gas car. This is a gas car which is really crazy. And whose car this is? Antke Nanaka. And what is the model of the car? It's Revo and it's really airy. Okay, so you can just remember, you can make anything up and you will really not forget. That's Malaysia, that's Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, that we know, and the currency is ringgit. This is your second bonus slide for sports. Try to answer these. I think all these questions you must be definitely knowing. Okay, here are your answers. In Women Asia T20, I would have put it in the main slide. Had India beaten Bangladesh, that was unfortunate. The first time India got beaten here, all Asia Women T20, only India was winning it. But yeah, the first time Bangladesh won it, it went to the last ball. Poor throw from the deep. Otherwise, it could have gone to the super over. Asia Junior Athletic Championship was held at Gifu. Is in Japan. India ranked third. I think Japan won. China was second. India was third. There were a lot of, I think, 3 or 4 gold medals from India in the men's section and one from the, I think, one of the female athletes. And these are all junior, 1999 to 2002 or 2003. Their birthday should be in that range. In French Open 2018, Rafa Nadal, he was the defending champion also, he won. And Simona Halep, this is her first, she's already ranked 1. This was her first major, right? Uh, Harry Kane is the most valuable player of the FIFA 2018. This is already kick-started. Cricket Australia CEO Sutherland, we know Cricket Australia has been under a lot of fire just after the ball tampering when Steve Smith and your the other 2 guy had to pull out, and then Lemon also resigned. Yeah, and then finally you have your Cricket Australia CEO Sutherland. It just says that everyone knew about it, and then they just want to clean up the system. They not do it at a go. They are just doing it in step. It would have been a lot of controversy. Okay, here are the days. International Day of Innocent Children. Victim aggression is observed on on 4th of June, International Day of Fight Against Illegal, Unreported and Unregulated Fishing is observed on 5th. I'm just putting it chronologically. Russian Language Day was 6th. World Brain Tumor is celebrated, or not celebrated, I should say, is observed on June 8th. I think that was in Germany where it was celebrated. Is again observed. World Oceans Day is 8th of June. Ocean 8th, yeah, you can just remember like that. Okay, so I think with that we can close our today's session. I hope you have got plenty of news to remember and think about. This was an interesting week from the perspective of, if I say news, a lot of interesting news. I was really happy reading all this news, what has happened, and we'll see you very soon with another say wrap up of our weekly news. Okay, thank you. See you then.